your shirt. I'll say that on the.
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah.
that when we get going.
And the hat. Um,
Yeah, I got that.
all right. So here we are, another episode of Over Ask presented by The Broke Agent, hosted by myself, Matt Leonetti. Today, we have an extremely special guest, especially for me. As you can already tell, I am decked out head to toe, even wearing the
You're looking
sweats.
good, Matt. You're looking good.
We have Mauricio Umansky, the CEO and founder of the agency, on today. Maurizio, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. How you doing? Good?
Man, I'm just happy to finally meet you. And, I've been following your Instagram now for a little while, and it's just brilliant. I love everything you do. So I'm really excited to virtually meet you. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see you out here for our agency forum, later on this September. Hopefully it actually happens, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. It's funny you say that because Eric had a couple questions, the broke agent. I'm sure you've met before. He's told me
I
about
know Eric. Yeah,
all
for
that
sure. We've
stuff.
had, I'm notoriously known for not calling him back after our meeting.
Oh yeah? Oh good. Good. Yeah, he told me you had a meeting. I was hoping you were gonna say you didn't have a meeting at all.
Yeah,
That's what
no,
I
we
was.
had a meeting. He's a good dude. I love him. He's just great, and I love what they do on their page and what they're doing with their podcast and all that stuff. So it's just all good.
He's very fond of you. Very, very fond of you. And he asked me to ask you what you thought of my videos. So you saying that, it's very nice. Thank you very
Got
much.
it. I see. I didn't even know you were going to ask me that, and I just got right into it. I think your videos are awesome. Actually, I think there was a Chris Dyson told me. He goes, "You watching Matt Leonetti's videos?" And I go, "What? What are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh man, you got to go get on this shit." And so I quickly, searched for you and found you, and I was like, "Yeah, thank God I got on this shit." So,
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, especially coming from you. Means a lot. This is a very special episode, like I said, because I mean we've had some big guests on right away. People you know. We've had Jordan Cohen on. We've had Ryan Serhant. But it's different here because you're the founder CEO of the agency. I'm an agent at the agency. So one wrong move here, and I'm back at Keller Williams. You know what I mean? So
you better watch out, man.
I better watch out. That's the thing. So not that there's anything wrong with Keller Williams, but I like it here. I like it here. It's the best brokerage I've ever been at. We'll get into that, but I want to ask you. What was your thought process opening the agency? Did you see an opportunity that other brokerages weren't giving to agents? Was that your biggest kind of
I
thing you
think
were
there were
thinking?
multiple things that we saw. Number one is I reached a level in my career where I became the number one agent in California a couple of years in a row, number seven in the nation, number three in the nation. I never got number one in the nation. But then, when I realized that there was only a couple of more spaces to go to become number one, it kind of just was not exciting enough for me. Number two was that I also felt that some of the stuff that was getting me to that level of success was teachable and repeatable. And it was actually something that if we actually took it more to a brokerage level versus just an individual level, that it actually could be a lot more powerful. Yeah, a lot better. And, now the dream was always to start growing nationally, internationally, and you can see that now we're in Toronto and in Vancouver, Victoria, and in Mexico, and in Turks and Caicos, and all over the place. We're opening up the East Coast very strong right now. Bethesda's open. We're about to open up Connecticut. We've got something coming in Long Island. Really interested in the Florida market. We're going to expand there a lot stronger. But it was really to build. At the time when I did this, there was the real estate's been very archaic. Okay, I mean it really has. I mean we were one of the last ones to adopt technology. I remember, the World Wide Web, right? The internet, right? Was everything was on it. Every business was on it, and yet I was still searching for properties in a book, right?
Right,
So
right.
we were always kind of the last ones for some weird reason to adopt technology in real estate. Now it's catching up fast. It's starting to catch up kind of relatively quickly, but the all of the big brokerage firms were carrying a bunch of weight. They're all Titanics, if you will, and they couldn't be nimble and they couldn't, make changes. So I felt that there was a great opportunity to create a brokerage that can be nimble, that had, really used technology to its advantage, had 100% participation in a CRM, really the entire brokerage working through one CRM system. And I just thought that that was going to be something that was going to be different. And then from the marketing side, which is what you do with your videos, really, and that's kind of the funner side, right?
Yeah.
It's really all about creating, selling real estate through lifestyle and through having fun, right? And
Yeah.
not just the 4 bedrooms, the 3 baths, the granite countertops, and the mealy appliances. Like, let's go have some fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing in this house? We're going to go to, there's a great park to walk to and take your kids. There's the best coffee shop around the corner that you've ever been to is happens to be right around this corner, right? You're near, the yacht club. You love to, like, whatever that lifestyle is. Really sell, property through lifestyle. We were the first ones to really do that, and now everybody has copied us. And now it's, some people do it great, some people do it poorly. Agents do it on their own. Brokerages do it on their own. But that's flattering, and that's very flattering. I remember Robert Refkin from Compass. He and I were in the back of about to come out on a conference. We were going to be on the same panel, and he said to me, he says, Mauricio, we copy all your marketing. And I go like, well, I guess that's kind of flattering, and it's kind of cool that you tell me at least straight to my face. He goes, well, why reinvent something when you could just copy the best? I'm like, all right, well, thanks, man.
That's,
You're the only one that's ever actually admitted it, which is kind of cool.
that's the highest compliment you can get when people start
Yeah.
copying what you're doing. That's amazing, and that's what drew me. I mean, the agency. I'm with Peter Torkin out here, who's amazing. He's
Love him.
high regard down here, and we absolutely love him. And that's when we started talking. He sent me one of your like the agency kind of promo vids, and I watched that, and I was hooked. And there's always been something missing for me in a brokerage, and I really, really found that here.
Oh, good.
There
I'm
was
glad to hear that.
it wasn't like Peter didn't
This is
come
the
in.
part of the interview where you're just trying to keep your job, right?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
trying to
this is
keep my
that.
job right
Yeah,
now.
got
So
it.
exactly. So, so I'm just, that's what I'm doing here. But Peter sent me that, and I was just like, this is exactly what I need. And you almost have, I feel like the agency has almost like we rebel against the industry. And that's kind of the whole brand, and that's what really resonated with me. And the fact that Peter he didn't just try and tell me a bunch of shit I wanted to hear. And that
Yeah.
told me a lot about, that's how I am when I go into appointments, stuff like that. I'm not going to go give you a home evaluation and just tell my client something they want to hear. I'm going to tell them the real price of the house. I think that's often overlooked in real estate. So I got here and I love it. And the culture, everything. I always hear about culture in every brokerage, and then you get in on a Monday morning and no one fucking talks to you.
And it's the same shit over and over again, right? And it doesn't matter where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I had I did the joining video with the baseball thing, and
Yeah.
everyone reached out. It was incredible the amount of support I got right off the bat from everyone all over, the States, Canada. Everyone reached out, and it's been a family. Like, it's been a family
Well,
ever
I'm so
since.
glad that was your experience. Obviously, we try hard to make, great experiences for not only our agents, our customers, our consumers. I mean, that's the key thing, the key factor is to try to make great experiences all the way around. We're not perfect and we fail sometimes. I've heard some failure stories, but we do our best.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are
And we
you?
care, right? I think everybody has a high
That's
give a shit factor, which is really at the end of the day what matters most, because you can make mistakes, have a high give a shit factor, and that those mistakes get corrected relatively quickly.
right. So what are you looking for in your agents when you're hiring people? Because we don't have a lot of agents. I mean, it's quality over quantity for sure at the agency. So what are you really looking for in an agent?
You nailed it. It's quality over quantity. It's people that are they're good. They're good people. And a good person doesn't mean you have to be a lazy person. I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about just good ethics, high customer service value. They really want to deliver to their clients the best possible experience. But you're a go-getter, right? Like you're not going to take no for an answer. I want somebody that, you're on a date, you come out of the movies, you go to the restaurant, it's 9:58. You say, can we have a table for two? The hostess says, sorry, the kitchen's closing at 10. You look at your watch and you're like, great, I got 2 minutes to order. Get me in, right? I
Yeah.
don't want the guy that's like leaving and like trying to figure out where else to go eat. Like, sorry, babe, we can't eat today, right? Like
Yeah.
let's get on it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, hungry people. We're looking for good people. We can groom. We've had some amazing success and stories, and to me, that's the happiest moment when I see, a guy or a girl, doing $8 million a year. They've sold 8 homes. They've been working at any brokerage. You mentioned Keller Williams. I'll pick on them for 2 seconds. Our actually happen to be our biggest success stories as Keller Williams agents, to be quite honest with you, because the training that goes on at Keller Williams is the best training in the country.
Yeah.
So when we're able to get a Keller Williams agent to then come to the agency and then have the power of the agency brand behind them after they've gone through that type of training, and then they get into this new environment. We've just seen some extraordinary success stories. People going from $8 million to $60 million or to $80 million. And that's what we love the most. We don't need to go recruit the $100 million agent. We'd rather turn a $10 million agent into a $100 million agent. And that's what we get, super, we love that, and we're patient. It doesn't happen overnight, right? The agent has to be, it happens, sometimes it happens over 2-3 years, which is an extraordinarily fast pace, to get there. And sometimes it takes 5 or 6, but we've seen it over and over and over again. And what we end up doing is, having the best agents, grooming the best agents with the clients, having the best experiences. And it's just awesome to watch.
Right. I absolutely agree. I was with Keller. They do have some good training, stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I've seen. And one thing I will say, with the back to the promo vid I got, you said this quote, and it's not the quote I think you think I'm going to say, but I wrote it down here because I love this quote. You said, in order to be great, you've got to dare to be bad.
Love that quote.
I love that quote. And that grabbed me. And I said, where do I sign?
Yeah.
It's awesome. Also, the name is like the sickest name ever. How do you even get that? The agency.
How crazy is that, right? So I was in the shower and I was trying to think of names, and I'm like, I want to start this company, but I really, I worked for a company that was named after, 2 people, right? And so I just didn't like every time I paid for advertising, and they were working agents, and I'm a working agent too, but I didn't like that every time I paid for advertising, I was advertising their names, right? And it was all on my dollar, and it's like, but so it just used to bother me. So I'm just obviously thinking. And what I do a lot of my great thinking in the shower. So, sometimes I'm known for I have a big water heater. Like I'm known for taking,
I'm the
1 hour showers.
same. That's where my videos come from, in the shower.
Yeah. So I'm in there and I'm like, what can I do that's just generic? And like, the firm and all of these companies. And I'm like, the agency, like, there's no way. I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. I jump out of the shower. I'm all wet. I go to my computer and I start typing it in. And I'm like, come on, it's actually available?
Yeah.
That's impossible. And I'm like, GoDaddy, buying, like before, like just buying all this shit. And then we started the business plan. And, I have always said it's literally like having a baby. From the day that I kind of started the business plan to the day we actually pulled the trigger, it was literally like 9 months to the day.
Wow. That's incredible. I asked that because when I joined in September, and one of my first appointments, I said, hey, I'd like to book an appointment for this property. They go, okay, what brokerage? I say, the agency. They go, yeah, which one? I said, the only one, the agency. That was sick.
The agency.
And she said, that's cool. That's a cool name. I said, yeah, it's some James Bond shit right there, and she was freaking out. She thought it was like the sickest name ever. And I agree. So also our merch, the swag is next. It's the best. I'll say
best
it's the best.
swag. I agree. Best swag, period. And by the way, it's fun to wear a cool logo. One of the things in terms of the logo that I'll tell you another story on the logo, which is kind of cool, is, when Billy and I started this company, we started it with very little money, with zero debt, with zero investment from outside investment. So it was literally just him and I, like, saying, "Fuck, let's go," right?
Yeah.
And But one of the things that Billy wanted to do is, he goes, "Listen, our logo, our thing, it's critical, right? Like, we need to spend money on that." And I'm like, "Bro, like, we can't spend money on anything, right?" So he goes, "No, Mo, we need to spend money on this thing." So, he recommended that we hire a firm. It was an incredible firm. They did the branding for Audi and BMW. I mean, we went and hired like a major firm,
Yeah.
right? And it was expensive. It was like $50,000, $70,000 just to get the logo design. And I'm like, "Billy, like, that's half of our entire investment,
Yeah.
pretty much, right? Like, how are we going to open an office?" So he goes, "We got to do it. We got to do it." And literally, they came back to us and they showed us three samples, and they showed us the one that you've got on your head right now,
Yeah.
first. And we're like, "We don't need to see the other two. Like,
Yeah.
that's it." And they're like, "Well, let me show you the other two." And I'm like, "Well, fine, but like, that's it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't need to see the other two." And sure enough, they showed us the other two, and we're like, "Yeah, it's the number one." Like, so literally, we paid all this money for the first one that they came up with, being our logo and our brand and the whole thing, and et cetera, et cetera. But I guess, the lesson is, you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
It's not about how much time and effort. It's about getting the right product.
Right. Yeah, and it's amazing. Eric and I were talking about that yesterday. He said your merch is so much better than everyone else's. Like, your agents for once actually look cool wearing brokerage merch. That never happened
Yeah.
in the history of real estate, you
Well,
know?
I was in the fashion business beforehand, right? So I've always liked the merch
So you get it.
swag.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, I can't even believe people leave their house with some of this shit, you know? Um, but
And
that's a
again, now you see, again, another form of flattery. You see all kinds of brokerages, now starting to copy us, right? The hats. I mean, the brokerage firm never had hats, right? Like, that
no.
wasn't like their thing, right? Like the T-shirt, the this, the that. They had the pin,
Yeah.
but that's about it, right? Like, that was your swag.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, yellow jacket and a little, little logo in the corner of your thing. That was it. Little
that was
golf
it.
shirt. But
Yeah,
that's kind of, yeah, that's all it ever was. Now we have to pivot a little to the broke agent, okay? Because I
let's
want
do
to talk
it.
about this meeting a little bit, okay? So he said you guys met. He's very fond of you. He was gonna jump on today, and I said, "Listen, Eric," I said, you know, Maurizio and I are strong, powerful, handsome guys. You don't really fit in, you know. So he's on the sidelines. You know what I mean? But how is that meeting? You like
He's
Eric?
great,
You can
man. I
say you
love
don't
Eric.
like
We
him.
had a great. I love Eric, and sometimes my busy schedule, it goes both ways. Sometimes it works to my advantage, and sometimes it doesn't. But I love Eric. Apparently, I actually never got back to him, is what I've been hearing after our meeting. Which, dumb me, I didn't even realize that, but I thought we did. And I love the man, and I just think that everything that they do. I think everything he does, from the content and who he is and as a human being, is just awesome. So I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, he's a good guy. It's probably best you didn't get back to him, but this will go straight to his head. So thank you for that. That's awesome. And yeah, we're very big, obviously, on the social, aspect of things. Is that kind of where you see the industry completely going? Is like all social? I mean, that's pretty much what we're looking at right
Well,
now.
yeah, I think that there's a tremendous opportunity in terms of intelligence, artificial intelligence, to be able to really target market, if you can start identifying what people's behaviors are, and to be able to really get heavy into lifestyle marketing, right?
Yeah.
So if I know, through everything that you do, right, you fill out all of you're online, and you're on Instagram, and in theory, we know what you look at, right? What you're interested in, and we know what your hobbies are, water ski or a snow ski, whatever it is that you do. You fill out, your clubs, you fill out your interest, you're on Clubhouse, and you fill out all your interests, all of those things. LinkedIn, what boards do you serve on philanthropy? Who do you what do you support? What political party do you support? All of these things, they're all out there, right? So that
Mhm.
becomes artificial intelligence. So I really do believe that that the future of real estate marketing is really, and if you're going to do it right, I mean, obviously, is you can buy an ad on AdWorks or Google whatever Boost, on
Yeah.
Facebook, whatever, right? But I believe that if a brokerage firm can figure out how to really use that artificial intelligence and really target market specific properties to a specific group of people, it doesn't matter where they are in the world, that is the future of real estate marketing.
Right.
Because now you can really get targeted. I've always loved targeted marketing, right?
Yeah.
I also love the old fashioned marketing, which is the event marketing and the networking. I love that. I can't wait for us to be back in that world,
Yeah.
after COVID, and be able to host an event and host a party and let like-minded individuals network at one of our properties, even if other businesses are happening outside. It doesn't have to be our business. It doesn't have to be about selling or buying the particular house that you're in. It's really more about creating an event and an opportunity for people to jive, man, to network and to have fun and to build businesses and to entrepreneurs and all that kind of stuff. I love that. I hope that never goes away. The old fashioned marketing, um, you know, the phone call, right? The real, right?
Yeah.
The conversations. I believe that that's going to be more and more powerful. I know that the millennials are so into texting and so into all of that stuff, but a text can be read, the same text can be read, 7 different ways. And so there's still the art of communication that's somehow being lost, and I really hope that is a art that is not lost, because that's what really separates great salespeople. And what we do is sell, right? And we tell story, and the way we sell is by communicating and by telling amazing stories.
Yeah.
And so to me, the art of storytelling is really an art that great salespeople have. And it, again, when I say storytelling, I don't mean fictitious storytelling and lying. I'm talking about being able to communicate facts in a proper way, and
Yeah.
and actually deliver the message that you're trying to deliver. So I still think that there's some of that too, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree with everything you said. And like you said at the beginning of this, that's my favorite part. That's the fun part, is telling the story. I just love it. So since I got into that, and since I've started these videos, it's really starting to broaden my business as well. It's crazy what it can do, just,
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you do it great. I love watching, and
Thank you.
I've reposted a couple already,
Yeah.
so let's keep
Yeah.
it going.
I appreciate it. So before we go, I do want to talk a little bit about the PLS, the property listing service. It's such a cool platform. As soon as I saw Chris did something on it at our global meeting, and I just thought it was brilliant. I can't even believe it hasn't been done
Yeah.
until now.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant platform. And, again, it's another thing that, us real estate agents, we really want, right? I mean, we've gotten to a point where, again, it started off as the private, the private listing service.
Yeah.
And we know what happened with that. It was stopped by the clear cooperation policy. But the property listing service is fantastic too, because us agents, we work really hard for our inventory. We want to share it with other agents, but we certainly also, want to receive the leads and the people that are interested in the inventory that we worked hard to get.
Yeah.
If they are so inclined to call us directly, we'd love to make sure we get the call, right? Rather than it going
Right.
to somebody else or another agent or somewhere else. And then the client arrives thinking that they're working with the listing agent. They actually believe that,
Yeah.
if they want to work with somebody else, work with somebody else. We don't
Yeah.
care. But if you think you're working with the listing agent, it'd be nice to actually work with the listing agent,
Right.
right? So, the PLS will not share our information with outside IDX any sort of platforms, the Zillows of the world, the
Yeah.
realtor, all of those type of things. And it's really just meant to capture that. And, eventually, it's can the agents, we deserve to have proper representation. And I'm not 100% sure that, we are being properly represented right now. I believe that right now, unfortunately, the representation that's happening for us is may be hindered by money and by politics, and not necessarily what for us. And
Right.
it's sad, and I hope that I'm not going to try to go fight that battle. It's too big of a battle to fight, but
Yeah.
but little by little, real estate agents could, should decide what it is what they want.
Yeah. And I mean, they're so fed up with everything else. I think this is such a great opportunity for them to really utilize this tool, because it's going to be really helpful, and it's
I think
only a
so
matter
too.
of time before it becomes a mainstream thing. So I'm excited for you guys about it, because it's a really cool platform. So you can check that out at thepls.com and the PLS on Instagram, all that stuff. But
Yep.
Mauricio, it's been such an honor talking to you. Finally get to kind of meet. I can't wait to meet you in person, like you said.
The same.
Absolutely love. I've joined in September. Uh, Absolutely love my time here. Joining the agency, it's like getting that Willy Wonka golden ticket. You know, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. And it's been just so great talking to you. And I'm sure we'll, meet in person soon once all this passes.
I look forward to it. I thank you so much. And let's do, happy to do this again with some other
Yeah.
fun topics. Let's go turn it up a notch. And let's not talk about the agency. Let's go talk about something controversial.
Okay, I'm down. Anything.
Let's have fun. Yeah. Love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.